Hello everyone, and welcome back to another cast of the Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Rise of the Witch King. Today's replay, I know, exciting isn't it, is going to be on Dylan's Dwelling, which is a 3v3 map I created. As I mentioned before in a previous video, this is a map I made with my friend Dylan, who kind of suggested the idea, and I kind of put it into place with Map Editor. So we are going to be getting underway here. I'm going to be spawning up in the top left as Agmar. My teammates along the top side, also spawning as Agmar, is Bradloo, and in the top right we have Snitches, question mark, as the dwarves. So this is going to be a 3v3 like I mentioned. Our opponents, in the lower left hand side, we have Zorro spawning as Agmar. 3 Agmars so far. In the center, JB will be spawning as Mordor. And in the lower right hand side, we have another dwarves, Osiris. So Agmar dwarves versus Agmar Mordor dwarves. 3 Agmar. So this should be an interesting game to see which player kind of uses the best Agmar strategy. So we'll see kind of what wins out here. Kind of while these players are kind of undergoing their builds here, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the map while everyone kind of while the game kind of gets going. So basically, you have a huge line along the top here, where you're kind of even with your teammates. Now, along the left and the right sides that you can see on the map down here, there's sort of a bridge out to a large center island. Now, sort of the key to winning this map, in my opinion, is to come out here and claim, at least for the sides, to come out here and claim the middle island. Because if you can claim the middle island, you can get about 3 or 4 additional farms out here. And that amount of additional resources really helps boost your economy, and as well as the middle. If you can sort of like this, build your mines out into the middle, try and get them going as much as possible, and build up as far as you can, and hold that position. By making those extra resources, you're going to be one step ahead of your opponent. Now, I'm not saying that's going to always lead to victory, but of course, getting a ton of extra resources is always a good idea to helping defeat your opponent. Now, it looks like we do have myself and Zorro, each summoning some Thrall Masters here. He's going to go ahead and go for the Rudar Axe Throwers, while I focus on the Unabond Warriors here to try and take out this mill he's placed. And yeah, I do actually end up taking that out, which is going to give me a slight resource advantage. However, it looks like I may lose my group of thralls here. However, I do save up enough money to summon in the Wolf Riders. They do cost 350, so that's a pretty big investment. And Zorro goes ahead and throws down the... We both throw down our whirlwind attacks there. The problem here for Zorro is that his reinforcement building is way back here. He's built it at the front of his base, and I've built my barracks right up here, actually on the center island. So my reinforcements will be arriving here much quicker. Looks like he's got some Wolf Riders out now, and everyone's kind of chasing around here on the left side island. Back in the center, who's on top again? That's what she said. Bradloo. So Bradloo is going for Wolf Riders himself, as well as a lot of Axe Throwers, and he's going to be pushing in here on pushing down here towards Is this JB? Sorry guys, I keep forgetting. Yeah, JB's fortress, who is pumping out archers and Haradrim. The Haradrim will be good against the wolves. The archers hopefully good against the axe throwers. However, he's got the Haradrim in the back and letting the archers take a lot of the damage. And these riders are like stuck on something. There they finally go. So it looks like JB will clean that up for now. Meanwhile, on the right side, we have... Whose dwarves are these? These are Osiris' dwarves. Osiris has captured the middle island, pushed back Snitches here, who has gone for an early Brand hero to try and deal with some of this. I'm not quite sure. It looks like he's waiting for reinforcements to go with Brand. Really, Brand has enough range that he can probably move up right now and start dealing some damage to these dwarves, which are now fully sort of lesioned up here, along with pikemen. So they will probably be moving forward here soon. Yeah, they're going to go for the early attack here. And Snitches is going to try and hold on. Back in the center, we have Bradloo putting up a tower and trying to throw his axe throwers in there, and they will make it in there. So Bradloo kind of securing the center here. Meanwhile, back on the right side, Brand has had to retreat. There's just too many dwarves here for him to handle until he's level 2. He really needs to get up to level 2 so he can launch that arrow, that slam shot, which takes out basically an entire legion of enemy troops. As he works up, back on the right side, it looks like Zorro has pushed in here pretty far, trying to sort of stop my expansion. I've now built several barracks here on the center island, trying to reinforce my troops as quickly as possible. But when it's sort of an Angmar versus Angmar battle, you can see we're basically just going for each other's infrastructure right now, trying to ignore the troops, capture the middle island, get the most resources, stop the production of our enemies. Meanwhile, Brand is on the run from these pikemen, gets the slam shot off, and there's only a few dwarves left. He might have been able to take those, but it looks like he's just going to pull away just to be careful. Remember, kids, always pull out just to be safe. No reason to, stay in there, risk something bad happening. Now, it looks like in the center, I've actually brought some of my spearmen down to help out Bradloo here, who continues to push back JB. It looks like his tower has actually fallen. However, he still has enough troops here to do sort of hold his own ground. And no, this is a horrible rally point. I have no idea where these guys are going. Now, Bradloo has got out Hwaldir, an excellent Angmar hero. And I assume that either myself or Dave would have gone for Hwaldir too, but it does not look like either one of us has yet moved towards building a hero. It looks like for now we're just sticking with, sort of these basic units to try and sort of win the battle here. Meanwhile, the single thrall chasing down his builder does basically no damage. He'll run into a ton of pikes and just get pretty much stuck through like a roasted pig. Meanwhile, back on the right side, it looks like Brand has gone all the way up to level 3 in about a half, so he continues to level. And he has cleared out all of Osiris' troops, who now has actually saved up and gone for Dane. That's why he wasn't able to reinforce at all. He was saving up for Dane, who is an excellent hero. Immediately grants the leadership bonus, and as soon as you can get him, of course, to level 4, he has that pure heal, which brings himself and any nearby troops back to full health. Combine that with the dwarves stealing power, and they're pretty much unstoppable. So Dane is going to be fresh into the battlefield here and already leveling up. Dane trying to sort of, or not Dane, Dale, Prince Brand, the captain of Dale, trying to focus him down, but Dane just has so much health that he's going to get to level 4 way before Brand can do enough damage. In the center, it looks like Angmar has brought out the sorcerers now, trying to get some race on the field, or some rights on the field to deal some additional damage, and throwing down a burst spell just to kind of lower their damage as they continue to push over here. Meanwhile, on the right side, Osiris continues to press forward with Dane, now level 4, in good health too. Snitches, only mine here on the center island is destroyed, so Osiris claims the center island, claims a stronger hero, and claims the additional income for himself. While Osiris is doing extremely well versus Snitches, JB here attempting to stop this impending doom push from Bradloo, throws up the archer tower, continues to pump out archers